So we're going to begin by just arriving in our bodies. You know, shake your hips, shake your hands, or shake your shoulders just to really get here. And as we do this practice, we're going to pay keen attention to our sensations and really do your best to stay with what it feels like. Temperature, hot, cold, warm, tingly sensations. You really want to do your best to work at interpreting the sensations of your body instead of sort of filtering it through your mind. I would also suggest you keep your eyes open, as this is a practice that is meant to serve you on a day-to-day basis when you need centering, which doesn't necessarily look like a mindfulness practice. This is really available to you at any point. So I'm going to begin by really connecting to my core, and I'm putting my hands just below my navel. It's helpful, you don't have to. Really breathing into your core and becoming aware of the sensation beneath your hands or in your core. And we often talk about your core holding your commitments, what you love, what you care about, what actually drives your actions. And so we're going to spend a moment with what you love, with what you care about, and how that manifests in sensation in your core. Tension, pressure, temperature. Moving from there into our length, which is the dimension from the top of our heads down to our toes. And you can imagine a ray of light going from the top of your head down to your feet if you're standing, or the top of your head to your bottom if you're sitting. And noticing what happens to your body as you really fill out this dimension. If you align yourselves with that ray of light, what happens to your body? I notice my neck extend just a little bit. My chin rises just a tad. You might notice your posture shift some. What's it like to occupy this dimension of your length, which we often associate with the dimension of our dignity and the dignity of others? And for this exercise, we're actually going to invite the dignity of life itself. What needs to happen in our bodies for us to hold the dignity of life? What wants to strengthen or relax? Just noticing what it's like for us to occupy our length, our dignity, and to be a space for the dignity of life in us. Moving from your length to your width, which begins right in the middle of your chest and kind of unfurls like a scroll, so that you fill out your body all the way up to the tips of your shoulders, and you can even extend your arms if you'd like. Really exaggerate you filling yourself out, filling out your width. We're so often encouraged to sort of shrink, to get small. And with your dignity, with your length, and with your width, we're really invited to fill yourself out. Occupy all of your body. And we can sometimes talk about our width as the dimension of our interconnectedness, or the dimension of community as we stand shoulder to shoulder with people. Our capacity for really connecting them can sometimes depend on our ability to occupy our width. Sometimes people talk about a feeling of vulnerability in your width. Sometimes your shoulders go back and your heart and your chest is a little more exposed. So what's it like to hold your sense of community and interconnectedness, your width, and to invite the interconnectedness of all life? You probably know some form of how real interconnectedness is. This is a chance for your body to actually hold and experience that sense of interconnectedness, for you to be a space for the interconnectedness of life. even as you continue to hold your length, to occupy your dignity, you also are a space for community. Going from your width to your depth, beginning with your back, and picking a point on your back that you can really focus on what the sensation is. Sometimes I find it helpful to find a point where my shirt touches my back. And you might feel numbness here too. It's fine. It's just building a muscle to become aware of what your body is telling you. And we sometimes call this the dimension of our ancestors or our history, our stories, what got us here. And often the hopes and dreams, the aspirations of those who came before us that make it possible for us to be here, and that whether we want it or not actually compel us forward. We're going to even go farther beyond our ancestors to the evolution of life, making it possible for you now to contemplate your own body using your consciousness, exercising your self-reflectedness. The evolution of life, making this possible for you to be here. So really filling out your back as you hold your sense of interconnectedness and your width and your dignity and your length. Then moving forward through your guts and your insides, becoming aware of your front. Again, putting a little spot on your chest where your shirt touches you. This is your dimension of reaching the future. This is what you strive for. And again, noticing what happens to your body as you fill out your front and the future while holding the space of the evolution of life, your history, your sense of interconnectedness and the interconnectedness of life and your width, and the inherent dignity of life in your length. These 4 dimensions being available to you at any given point. Becoming aware of what needs to be so for your body to be a space for the bigness of all of this. And then bringing your attention back to your core, to your commitment, to what you love, the purpose for occupying these dimensions in the first place. And then coming to present. So this practice is available to you throughout the week. You can play with it, and you may have experienced one dimension that maybe you want to experiment more with. I encourage you to find a spot in your body that you really want to pay attention to. The goal is to develop a conversation with your body to better listen to it. Enjoy.